Hello everybody, this is Spencer Creek Enterprises, Doc. This is just going to be kind of an intro and an outro. I went fishing here last week and the only fish I caught was about a 6-pound blue. Last night I went and caught about 12 crappie, all of them pretty decent size. I wouldn't say they were monsters, most of them in the 11 and 12 range. This morning I went and caught about 8. I had a pretty decent one. I had a 14-inch and I had 2 or 3 12s, and most of the rest of them were 11s and 10s. So I'm going to get this video together and get it out to you as quick as I can. I may add that what bit I did get of that catfish. That was a nice, not a big catfish. It was blue cat. It wasn't that big. But you know, for a 6-pound, it was pretty big for me. I love catching fish about that size. So anyway, that's what we got going on. And if you'll stay with me, I hope you enjoy the video. See y'all later.
Okay, guys, first off, I apologize for the quality of this audio. I really don't have an expensive microphone, so bear with me on this. As for the guy that you saw in the very front of this video, uh, don't pay any attention to him. He has no idea what he's going to do. But let me clear up a couple of things. I did go last night. I did keep 12. I did catch 15, and 2 of them were dink crappie, and 1 dink catfish. So I threw those 3 back, and I ended up with 12. What I'm doing today is I'm just using some jigs. I'm using some Bobby Garland. I call them beaver tails. This was a purple flake with a chartreuse tail. I'm using 6-pound Mr. Crappie line. The rod and the reel are vintage, actually. They one of them's probably, the rod's probably about 15 years old, and the reel's probably close to 25 years old. But I just threw them together and threw some new line on them and thought I'd give it a whirl, and it really worked out pretty well. Uh, well, guess what? There's the first fish for the morning. So I'll pop in here every now and then and make a comment. I fought with this thing all morning long, that basket. It got bent out of shape, and so the fish didn't escape, but it sure had a time closing. We'll go back after it again. You better fix that, boy. There you go. I was thinking about a funny story that happened when I was a kid. My brother and I, my younger brother and I were fishing, and we had cane poles and minnows. And we were just slaying the crappie with those cane poles and them minnows. And about 20, 30 feet down from us was a guy. That was a guy that had, I mean, a real nice fancy rig, and he wasn't catching anything. Well, after a while, he got tired of us catching all these fish, and he walked over to us and said, "I'll give you this rig right here. I'll give you this rod and reel, and one of y'all give me your cane pole." Now, we were only probably about 9 or 10 years old at the time, and my younger brother was 2 years younger. We wasn't giving up that cane pole now. Wasn't going to happen. Just for grins and giggles, I did throw out a catfish rod with some shrimp on it. I didn't get a blooming bite, nothing. And I really would have thought there would have been something biting out there, but there was not anything biting. So anyway, that's the way that went. Now we did have, I did try probably 4 or 5 of the jigs, and I mean to tell you, I tried every retrieve I had. I tried a fast retrieve, caught some on that. Slow retrieve, caught some on that. Uh, just letting it sit, caught some on that. Bump and run, I caught some on that. But there was no figuring them out. It just wasn't meant to be. Here we go with another nice one. I started off at 2 feet deep, and then I went up to, dropped it down to 18 inches, and then I dropped it down to a foot. And at each one of those levels, I caught fish. So trying to figure them out, you know, is because they'd just dry up, and then I'd have to switch again and switch again. But you know, even though there wasn't a real definite pattern, we did have, you know, I did have some luck catching them. Maybe it wasn't luck; it was all my skill. Yeah, no, it wasn't no skill, but I did have a little bit of success. You know, just trying different things and whatever. Some of them worked. Some of the jigs I put on there worked. Some of them didn't. I didn't waste a lot of time, and I'd make 4, 5, 6 casts. But if I didn't have a bite, well, I changed it. Yeah, we'll go on and fish here a little bit to see what happens. Hopefully, I catch one here pretty quick. I believe this fish, that fish I just caught, was it was a toad. That was the 14 inch, and it weighed 1 pound, 1.45 pounds. So it was almost a pound and a half. And it was sure fun to catch. Out of all the fish that I caught last night, the 12 last night, and the 10 or 8 this morning, I had 2 females. So nearly all of them were males, which tells me that the females haven't moved up yet. So, you know, there's probably going to be at least another few days or at least a week, I would suppose, that there's going to be some pretty good crappie fishing in this area. The weather's just really messed them all up, just like it has across the country. It's the same. It's been the same for Oklahoma. Okay, that was about the end of the this morning's fishing. I laid them out on the tailgate of my truck and took a video of them so you could see what all the final fish look like. Man, you know, it was a lot of fun. But I'll go ahead and get that catfish up on here and try and make it short. and we'll be right back.
All right, guys. Here's my first one for today. Probably can't even get him in the whole picture. I'm gonna weigh him. Let's see what he caught, what he weighed.
Now this fish, I'd caught him. I'd already set out one pole, but I didn't set up my camera before I did it. Set up the pole, threw it out there, turned around to set up, get another rig going. Excuse me. And next thing I know, that pole's laying on the ground, and it's just giving it all kinds of fits. So when I pulled it up, I got it up to the shoreline, and I reached down to grab the line right close to the mouth of the fish, and the line broke just above it. So I had a hold of it and got it in, but I'll guarantee you that night I took all that line off that one and fixed that real quick and in a hurry.
.8. .86. He's almost 6. All right, nice hook set. Trying to keep it out of his eye if I can. Oh man, sorry about that, dude. Nice fish. All right, let's see if he'll go back. He's got enough deep water here. Yep. There you go. Go on now. There he goes. Nice fish. Whew, that was fun. Wasn't expecting that fast. That was on shrimp.
Thanks for watching.